Next generation weather forecaster Joe Shock here from StormChaserJS.com and Patreon.com. I'm going to be taking a look today at our tropical weather outlook. This is actually going to be posted on YouTube today rather than on Patreon. I'm trying to split them up. So basically, our general discussions will be for YouTube. And then once we get into a storm and we're dealing with a storm track, I'm thinking I'm going to save those for Patreon. So I want to try to split these off so people on YouTube can see what I'm doing and can get more people to come on Patreon by doing it through that approach. So anyway, let's take a look at what's going on here. Again, this is we always like to look at the MJO, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, to see where we are going here with the overall pattern. You can see this is it from the weeklies that came out yesterday. This is over the next month through August 14th. Here we are now, and really we're just hanging out in phases 2 and 3 and possibly getting into the null phase. Again, you always have some ensemble members that are taking it through 4 and 5. It's certainly possible, but it's not likely if you look at where the most numbers of lines, the highest density of lines are concentrated. They're concentrated in phases 2 and 3, and the circle here, which is null phase, which the null phase is, there's no MJO forcing present on the globe. Now, phases 2 and 3 for tropical development here in the Atlantic Basin, very, very active, as you can see. And then the null phase, since the null phase is no MJO present, it will really be more dependent on local drivers if there's enough wind shear or too much wind shear or no wind shear, dry air. A lot of things can go on. But when the MJO is present and it's in a phase like 2 and 3, you can see there is some pretty active development in the Atlantic Basin. Now, ocean heat content, this is getting more and more concerning day by day. I gotta tell you, this is just phenomenal. Now, let's take a look at this. Now, let me grab my pen. Hopefully this will work. I'll use red. Now, I'll start here off the west coast of Africa. Now, you can see where I'm highlighting here, right? Everything in this area at this red line. All in through here. I'll keep going up here. Then you can see some patches here closer in the Western Atlantic, but pretty much all of this area up and through here, all right? Everything in there is able to support intense tropical cyclone development. This is upper ocean heat content, how much energy is in the ocean for tropical systems when they get going. And you can see some very, very high numbers of upper ocean heat content exist from the west coast of Africa all the way to the mid-Atlantic. And over the next couple weeks, this will continue to build north here off the coast of Africa. In another month or so, we'll have this red line probably north of the Cape Verde Islands up here, something probably like that. You'll have more of it in the Western Atlantic. And once these waves begin to come off, there'll be there could be some wind shear, there could be some dry air, but there's a lot of energy in the ocean for these things to develop. So this is very impressive considering it's only July, mid-July. So we'll see what this looks like over the coming weeks, but this is very concerning. There's a lot of energy in the ocean for a tropical cyclone to be taking advantage of. Now, looking at the ocean temperatures, you can see 26 degrees. Again, same thing here. I'm going to illustrate this, make it easy to see. I'll use the red again. You can see the 26 sea line, 80 Fahrenheit, right in through here, all the way up through here, all the way up here into the North Atlantic, and then coming back down and going right into roughly the mid-Atlantic. So everything in that red line, all of this, of course, is over 26 C. And let me grab my pen over here, and let me even highlight in blue some 30 to 32 C here in the Caribbean, which is very, very concerning down in through here. And in Florida and the Bahamas, we have 30 to 32 C, which is 86 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Some of this water is here. So if we have a tropical system that can come in here, this is going to be a real problem. No question. This is, again, only mid-July. Imagine this in mid-August to mid-September. Holy smokes. There's a lot of energy, as you saw from that ocean heat content map, ready to go. So this is very, very concerning going down the road. Now, the anomalies look like this. You can see the Atlantic Basin entirely is at least a half a degree, if not a degree above normal, and in close to the U.S. coast, 1 to 2 Celsius above normal. So this is really, really wild to see this kind of warm anomaly showing up here. So again, plenty of heat, ready to go. Now looking at the Japanese, week 1, upward motion. A little bit of sinking motion here in the Atlantic, Western Atlantic, not too big of a deal. nothing will develop really anyway in this next 1 to 2 week period. But look over Africa, you can see very, very strong upward motion, very, very intense monsoon going on through here. East African Easterly Jet, the AEJ, AEW, African Easterly Waves. So very, very impressive there. Week 1. Week 2 looks like this. We still have some sinking motion here over the Western Atlantic. A very, very strong upward motion over Africa. You can see the precipitation anomalies week 2. Very, very wet in the Eastern Atlantic. And then week 3 and 4, things begin to shift around. The upward motion begins to come further west, and the downward motion, the sinking air, continues to move further west into the Pacific. And this is a very, very highly favorable hyperactive phase. Now, this is getting into the first 2 weeks of August, and this is when the hurricane season really begins to get going once we get into August. So this upward motion like this suggests that this is going to be a very, very busy period as we get into the month of August. And again, you can see very, very wet across the Atlantic Basin weeks 3 and 4. Now, the European weeklies, upward motion pretty much over the Atlantic on next 6 weeks and above. Normal precipitation continues. So with all that looked at over the next few weeks, this was actually made on July 3rd through August 3rd, but pretty much it's the same theme over the next month. Favorable here in the central and western Atlantic. A little bit less favorable here for now in the eastern Atlantic, the MDR. Again, there's still some dust out here, some wind shear, so waves are going to have a harder time developing out here, but more favorable here overall over the next few weeks here in close to the United States. So that's it for now, and thank you for watching.